What's going on, people? It's GadgetsBoy. Welcome to another video. In this one, we're going to be looking at Calpay's new adventure. It's the Ear One true wireless earbuds. As you can see there, I've opened it already. I've been using it for a bit, and this are quite hyped as well. It's probably the most hyped tech product in the tech space in a long time that I've seen as well. And they've been drip feeding us with loads of like teasers and images, and slowly telling us some of the specs as well. And then eventually we got the full specs. In fact, this one on StockX as well, where people bid, I think, over the odds for this, but retail price for this is actually £99 here in the UK, or $99 if you're in the US, for example. And it's been sold in certain parts of the world at the moment, and some of the places where it's been released to be bought as well suggest that this is not just a pair of two wireless headphones and earbuds. It's also a fashion accessory in that sense. They want it to be what it is. And in a space where we have loads of earbuds, you know, Apple earbuds, Beats by Dre, you got some from Bowers and Wilkins. I've got the Sony ones as well. You've probably seen the review already for that. In that space where we get these tons and tons of different earbuds on the market, the only thing you can do is it's not just tweaking the audio. Like, audio is easy to get sorted out, but the main thing is to stand out on the market. If you see this on the shelf, for example, and the design of this actually makes it stand out. But anyway, without further chat, if this is your first time around here, please do subscribe and smash that bell notification as well, so every time there's a video like this, you get notified. Let's get into it. So inside the box itself, you get everything you need to get started. So you get a USB-C cable in there, and they advise that you charge the case itself. All the true wireless earbuds, the Ear One, they advise that you charge it with that USB cable, because that's been designed to make sure that it's discharged the way that it's meant to be charging. And then you also get a user manual in there as well. So you get a quick start guide, which tells you the app to download. It's got a QR code on it as well. So do use that to download it. This supports iOS and Android as well. I think it's iOS 11 and up. And I'm not sure which Android version and up, but the latest Android, it would work completely fine with those two operating systems. And also you get some spare ear tips in there as well for different ear canal sizes. But I tend to be fine with the one that comes by default on the earbuds itself on most earbuds that I use. So if it doesn't fit though for you, you can change it, because that would affect the level of active noise cancellation that you get. And then you get the pair of Ear Ones as well. So the name itself is fascinating. It's Nothing. So the brand name is Nothing, but throughout the whole design itself, there's not a lot of nothingness on here. There's a lot of Ear One on there. So I think I'm looking forward to other products that Calpay is going to be releasing with under the brand, the umbrella of Nothing. But for now, this is Ear One. So even on the case is this Ear One case inside of there. And what you notice as well is on the case itself, the size of it. It's not your average size in terms of earbuds, true wireless earbuds cases. And it's got this dimple on there as well, so you can see my finger just go slightly into that spot there. At first I wasn't sure what that was about, but the more I look into it, that's been designed to actually keep the earbuds inside of the case, to keep them in place, because the magnets in there will end up attracting each other and it'll probably go out of place or something. But that's been designed to actually keep the stems in there, to keep them in place when you got it docked in the case itself. Around the case, again, this is see-through. You can see the power components in the case in there, which again, this is the sort of design that we're going for here. So bear that in mind. Before I actually talk about that, the font as well that's been used there, this retro font, reminds me of Casey Neistat's Beam app. If you guys remember that app, if you remember the first iteration of it, or even throughout the whole lifespan of the app itself, you can see the iteration, you can see some sort of like resemblance in the fonts that's been used there. And obviously Casey's one of the investors in Nothing, so that might be some sort of influence in that area. I don't know. That's just me. That's just a conspiracy from my side. The case itself is also a charger for the true wireless earbuds once you put them in here for the Ear Ones. But you get a USB-C port on the side and a button as well, which you can press for pairing, and also to check the charging as well. If you press it, the LED indicator light inside will light up to let you know that if it's green, you've got enough charge. Otherwise, when it's charging, it's orange. But this supports fast pair, so if you have Android, if you're using it with an Android phone, you can just open it up and it supports fast pair, but not an iOS. So if you have an iOS device, you would need to go through the standard Bluetooth pairing process. You download the Ear One app, and then you can use that to do the rest of the simple setup and settings and stuff. Again, we'll go through that as well. But otherwise, the case is pretty minimalist, and when you open it up, even the way that the earbuds duck, it's kind of different from the usual setup that you get, and It takes a bit of getting used to it at first, but once you get used to the positioning of it, then it's just nice and simple. Every time you just duck it in there and it just attaches nice and easy. There's no problems there at all, which I quite like, and the case just closes like that. One thing that I've been seeing online is people talking about the possibility that the case itself might be easily scratchable, and that's true. I've been using it I've been putting it in my pocket with keys and all sorts, but the scratches on there aren't full-on scratches. They're just micro scratches that you'd get on this sort of like acrylic sort of plastic material. So do keep that in mind. This wireless earbuds itself supports AAC codec and SBC codecs as well. So there's no aptX, although you do get Bluetooth 5.2 support. They're super light, so when you put them on, they're super lightweight. It becomes this sense of nothingness in your ears, and I guess that's what they're going for. So it's lighter, slightly lighter than the Apple AirPods, which I've also got here as well, which I use to compare and stuff like that. I'll talk about the sound quality down the line as well. In terms of battery life on this, this will last you 34 hours with the case if you have active noise cancellation off. But if you use active noise cancellation, this would only last you 24 hours, which is still a lot. I think by the time I started using in the morning yesterday, for example, from like 7 a.m. and by the time it was like 4 p.m. The battery had like 30% left in the earbuds without actually docking it at all. So I could still use it for a long period of time before having to dock them in there to recharge it back up for a bit while I'm on the go. Also, this dimple on there, actually, I'm just talking all over the place. Do excuse me. I've used it and there's a lot of thoughts that I've got on this. I also do think the dimple on there as well would allow this to be stronger as well, because if you just have one plain sight, if it's just that one plain plastic on top, it might means that it's easy to bend in the middle. So you might accidentally crack it, but I think that dimple in the middle also allows it. And also, for fun, I do this a lot when I'm just standing waiting for the tube or something. I tend to do this with it. Now I've gotten used to it. But yeah, but the case is chunky. It's not for everyone. Most earbuds cases are not this big. I've got my Apple AirPods here, AirPods Pro, and the AirPods Pro is slightly, they're along the same size of chunkiness, but again, it's just the size is not the usual that you get with true wireless earbuds. And one thing as well, if you were to compare it to the AirPods Pro in terms of design, you do get a lot of accessories for the AirPods Pro, which is something that you won't get with this. So if that's something that you want to compare in terms of casing and accessories available, that's something to bear in mind as well. Just put that away. Back onto this though, so if we take the earbuds out, this is IPX4 water splash resistant. And then if we look at the earbuds itself, it's got this nice combo of color. If I just get that to focus, I love the combination, the color combination. So there's no R writing or left writing on there to let you know when it's left or right. What you get is the right earbuds has this red dot on there, and then the left one has a white dot on there. But again, it's got this nice clear case on it as well, which is really nice. I quite like that. And it's got the Nothing Ear 10, Ear 10, Nothing Ear 1 written just underneath it, so that's not going to scratch off as well. So it's inside, and you can see the magnet as well, and some internals there. So again, if you used to like off-white design, this has got that sort of like off-white-esque sort of thing. So again, this is why I'm going with that fashion accessory thing. So this is a fashion statement as well as some sort of technology advancement in some sort of way. Technology product. So this is tuned by Teenage Engineering. So you do expect straight up front to get a really good sound system for £99. Each one of the buds has 11.6 millimeters dynamic drivers in there, and it's graphene product, which is graphene material used in there. So it comes across in the sound quality when you start listening to audio on this as well. And each earpiece weighs just 4.7 grams, and it's super lightweight. Like I was saying earlier, it just feels like nothingness when you wear it in your ear. And I like the way they sit as well. Like it's so comfortable, because what I do find with most earbuds is over time as I'm using it, I have to keep like adjusting it, self-adjusting and digging it back in my ears because sometimes it gets sweaty there and then it starts to slip out. But I think with that, it just sits really nice and comfortable, and it stands out, and it's just nice and comfortable to wear. It's just nice. And once you wear it, you get this noise prompt, this sound prompt that lets you know that it's now connected to your smartphone. There's no voice one which goes Bluetooth connected or tells you your battery level. Your battery level shows up on top of the iPhone notification area as well as the app as well. So if you go inside the app, it tells you the battery levels and that kind of stuff. Couple of things out the way in comparison to the AirPods Pro, for example. And I keep comparing it to the AirPods Pro, and that's because most people invest in that and think that's the pinnacle of what you should be getting. But it's not to say that the AirPods Pro are super fantastic when it comes to sound quality, but if we were to compare it, that's something that's good to compare it to, and that's something that I use for me to be able to compare it to that. I'm not going to compare it to like the likes of the Sony WF blah 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 that I reviewed already, because that's just in its own sort of lane. That's a different price bracket, different sound qualities, different active noise cancellation, and so on. So I won't compare it to that. This has also got 3 HD microphones in there, which helps with environmental noise cancellation when making phone calls. And that right off the bat sounds amazing. So when it comes to making phone calls, there's no issues at all. People can hear me clearly. I feel confident that they can hear me as well. And that's something that it's a bonus to have in there. That's something that you expect to have, and that works absolutely fine. This doesn't support multi-point, so that's what I was going to say before I went off on a tangent. But compared to the AirPods Pro, you couldn't just move music from one device to the other. AirPods Pro, I can just connect it to my iPhone, and when I get to my computer, if I'm making a Zoom call, I can automatically like just switch and connect and that kind of stuff. It's just dynamic and seamless. But with this, you won't be able to do that. It means I have to go to devices individually and disconnect one, connect to the other, and carry on using it. But for £99, you can't really complain in that area. I also like that you can use one ear at the same time at a time as well. So if you don't want to put both in, you can do that as well. So sometimes it might be that I'm just making a phone call and I don't want both in. So I just have one in and leave the other one back in its case. In terms of control itself, you can touch the earbuds to control the music. You got triple tap function, which is quite strange because you don't have the option to do one single tap or 2 taps. In the app itself, you only have the option to do triple tap, which it has the goods and bad, because triple tap I can only go forward and backwards already. For example, on track, I can't use it for phone calls functions, for example, and maybe it's to stop you from accidentally pressing it and stuff. With this one, you can only get triple tap to control your active noise cancellation, to control forwards and backwards in terms of changing tracks, and you can also press and hold it as well for active noise cancellation levels. Sometimes I don't really know if I've activated noise cancellation levels on there as well when I'm pressing and holding, which again, that doesn't fill me with confidence, but the triple tap works each and every time, so that's no problem there. Onto the sound quality though, I think with teenage engineering and the price that you pay for this is on par with the AirPods Pro, and that's a testament to the work that they've put into this. So they haven't just concentrated on making this look as good as it can be, look, you know, fashionable to wear out and about, since it's something that you're going to be wearing every day. But they've also made it functional in terms of sound system as well. And I've taken this out cycling, for example. I've gone running with this, and it just works really well. It fits into that lifestyle, although maybe with IPX4 it's probably not the best for all kind of different exercises, but you can use this to go running. It stays in, it doesn't fall out, it's nice and super lightweight as well. And sound quality, again, back to that sound quality, it sounds really good. Your bass are good, depending on which equalizer presets you go for. But what I do notice though is if you go on more bass, you'd have to go higher volume to actually experience a really good level of bass on there, which I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, but I would love that to be linear in terms of being able to experience that no matter, regardless of what volume I go for. I don't know if that's making sense to you guys, but yeah. But what I do love in the preset stage, you have vocal settings as well, so that's really good for when you listen to podcasts. So it makes sure that the mids where the voice are coming from, it's really good. In terms of music though, with the mid-range, the mid-level sounds really good as well, but it depends on what music you're listening to. If you naturally listen to music that's overpowered by bass, is really like hip-hop, for example, your mid suffers a tiny bit, but your higher frequency at all times are always good, depending on which presets you go for, which is really good. You also get different levels of active noise cancellation, so you can change it between full-on active noise cancellation, then you got your transparency, or you can turn it off completely. But under active noise cancellation, you can also go from light to heavy. But what I do notice though is between light and heavy, I don't notice much difference whilst I'm listening to music. The only time I really notice it though is when I'm not listening to anything and I just put it on, for example, and just pause for a minute, and I put it on and I can notice the switch between the active noise cancellation. But that's probably something where the AirPods Pro edges this out just a bit more for me. The active noise cancellation on the AirPods Pro sounds really good. And also I forgot, AirPods Pro supports like spatial audio, for example, and you know, when you can move around and it follows the sound. So that's probably another area where that edges this one over. But again, you're paying £99 for these. But yeah, active noise cancellation, I think it's decent for the price point. It's not the best I've experienced. And that's coming from someone who uses the new Sony one, for example, and I've tried the AirPods Pro. But sound quality wise though, I think it's on point. Active noise cancellation could do with a lot more work though. maybe that's something that we'll experience in the next version. So the ear 2, when the other ear comes out, will get a better active noise cancellation. But again, that level of active noise cancellation and being able to switch at this price point, that's pretty much unheard of. That's not something that you really get at that price point for true wireless earbuds anyway. So having that in the first place is a huge bonus, and having the presets for the equalizer settings as well, that's pretty cool. But that's it for sound quality. I hope I've said enough for sound quality, but if you guys still want to know more and you have burning questions about the sound quality, you know where to go in the comments or on Twitter at GadgetsBoy. Hit me up, I can tell you more about the sound quality. But for me, I think they sound great. Active noise cancellation could be better, but I think for sound quality in general, for all the music that I listen to, like hip hop, Afro beats, jazz, that kind of stuff, pop music, I think they sound really good. It handles it very well. And other issues that I had with this though are down to things like the application itself, the software, and some glitches here and there, some teething issues. For example, the application doesn't give me like a real-time update on what I'm doing. So for example, if I activate the noise cancellation using the touch sensitivity on the earbuds themselves, and I go into the app, so if I go for active noise cancellation off, for example, in the app, it still shows me the active noise cancellation is on. So sometimes I have to close the app and open it back up, then it updates itself, which is kind of weird. Another thing is I did experience the left earbuds was disconnecting a lot at random as well. And another issue I had was sometimes this will automatically pause my music on Spotify for no reason. I haven't paused it myself. No one else is sharing my Spotify. So I don't understand why that happens. Maybe that's something that would be updated. Software updates can probably fix that. Another thing is this has got ear detection and find my earbuds as well in the app, which I'll go through. But with the ear detection thing, it just means that when I put it in my ear, it will know that I've put it in my ears and it should start functioning, for example. But what I notice is when I put it back in its case, sometimes it's still playing music and it's just odd. It just burns the battery for no reason. So that's, again, something that could probably be fixed with a software update. Inside the app itself, everything is very minimal. It's very simple to use. It shows you the case battery life, each earbud's battery life that's left in there as well in percentage, so you can straight away see what you've got left. And then you then have 2 buttons, again with that retro font all over it, and one button says hear and the other one says touch. So if you go into hearing, you can change you can personalize your sound. So here's where you can change things like your noise cancellation from putting it on to transparency and off completely. But if you go into noise cancellation on, you can then switch between light and medium. And the other one doesn't give you any extra features in there as well. So if you go to equalizer, you get presets from balanced, more treble, more bass, and voice. I always leave it usually on balanced, but if I'm listening to hip hop, for example, then I switch to more bass because I quite like my bass in that sense. And when I'm listening to podcasts, I put it on voice because that then enhances and makes sure that I get a really good voice quality and it's pronounced a lot more in there. If we go back out and then go into touch, here you can see what you can do with left and your right ear gesture controls. So on the left one, you can triple tap for next song or previous song or no actions at all. I know I said maybe you can just do something about turning it off completely. So here you can actually turn it off completely so nothing happens when you tap it. So again, no accidental touches, although I think triple tap is hard to accidentally do. And then you got right here, which is exactly the same. You can tap and hold as well for noise cancellation levels. Again, here you just have to press and hold it for different levels. So sometimes it's hard to realize what level you want until you notice the tiny little switch in experience of active noise cancellation. And if you do the 3 dots on the top right, you can have your in-ear detection. So we automatically play audio when your earbuds are in. This is quite, it's quite iffy at the moment. It doesn't always work as is intended. So that still needs work. And then you got to find my earbuds, which is cool. So if you don't know where they are, you can just play a sound, it'll ping it so you know where it is. And that's basically in there. You can see your firmware updates. And if you press the 3 lines on the left, this is where you can see your devices. So hopefully we might get over-ear headphones from nothing in the future. You'll be able to add a new device there. For example, you can switch from dark themes, notifications, and that kind of stuff. But again, with the AirPods Pro, you can activate voice assistant using the AirPods Pro and control it through there. But or just say the command word and it'll activate. But with the nothing ear ones, there's nothing like that. So with this one, you'd have to actually go into your phone and activate your voice assistant, for example, like Google Assistant. And then you can use a microphone from the earbuds, the ear ones, and actually control it through there as well. So that's absolutely fine. But it would have been nice to be able to say voice commands on there and do what you normally do. Anyway, guys, that's the Nothing Ear Ones review from me. I hope I've covered everything, but if there's anything else that you guys want to know, feel free to drop me a question on Twitter or in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer those questions for you. I think I've mentioned everything. If I've missed anything, it's just the fact that the white ear tips get dirty. They get dirty very quickly, but just quick wipe off and you're good to go. But yes, that's it. I'll leave all relevant links in the description area so you guys can do your own research and have a look at all the specs and stuff like that. I didn't want to run through a spec sheet, which you can always read yourself online. But again, as always, if this is your first time around here, please do subscribe and smash the like button and share it as well. Some of my find this useful. And the bell notification, don't forget to ding that as well. So every time there's a video like this, you get notified. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.